We all know that in upcoming years, electric vehicles are going to take over ICNG. But have you ever wondered how we are going to charge this? My name is Vinayak Vise. I am the founder of VNV Motors. I started my journey in electric vehicle in 2017, where I made first prototype of my electric motorcycle. We are also a manufacturer of lithium-ion battery packs for electric scooter and solar applications. I am going to talk about basic fundamentals of electric vehicle charging systems. Also, we are discussing about AC charging, DC charging, battery swapping, power grid, and many more. See you all in a bit.
As just explained previously about electric vehicle battery pack systems, we know how lithium-ion batteries store energy and delivers it. But how electricity is transferred into battery pack? We know that electric energy which is generated from power plant is transferred over long distances in form of AC supply. Generally, the AC voltage available at our home is single phase 230 volt 15 ampere. This translates to power of 3.3 kilowatt. We also know that any battery receives and delivers electricity in form of DC supply. Thus, it is important to convert this available AC supply into required DC supply. To handle such an amount of power in safe manner, it is important to have a system to ensure safe charging operation. So, EVSC, electric vehicle supply equipment, is a moderator between vehicle and AC power outlet. Thus, input AC voltage is supplied to EVSC and then eventually with help of connectors supplied it to onboard charger. As per its name, the onboard charger is unit installed in electric vehicle itself. The conversion of AC power supply into DC supply happens here. The converted DC supply is then transferred to electric vehicle battery pack as per required specification. Now let's see the function of each of these components in detail. To start with, one of most important aspect to take care of safety of electric vehicle as well as charging grid and most important safety of user, and for that we have placed EVSC system in role. On single phase AC supply, we can deliver 3.3 kilowatt of power to the battery pack. As we are dealing with such high voltage, high current supply, which are fatal to human as well as can cause fire if not properly handled. So, how does EVSC ensure safety in this charging operation? By enabling two-way communication between charging station and electric vehicle. So, what two-way communication means? It creates an interlock between supply and vehicle. EVSC restricts power supply until a secure connection between EVSC and electric vehicle is established. This eliminates the risk of electric shock to user by any accident. This communication happens between charge controller of EVSC and onboard charger of vehicle. The charge controller facilitates the interlock based on feedback received from onboard charger. Electric vehicles are getting smart and so are EVSCs. By the use of Wi-Fi, GPRS, Bluetooth connectivity, user can communicate with EVSC to fetch data like monthly power consumption, charging patterns, and ability to charge vehicle only when tariff rates are lower to save electricity bills. Now, let's see what are the basic building blocks of onboard charger. As per its name, onboard charger is installed in electric vehicle itself, which allows conversion of AC power supply into DC inside electric vehicle. In case of four-wheelers, most of time onboard charger is already installed. It allows EV users to charge their vehicles at any AC sockets available. The primary role of onboard charger is to manage flow of electricity from EVSC unit to battery pack. This process starts with rectifier, whose primary function is to convert this AC supply into DC. Now, this DC supply cannot be directly fed into battery. There is a peculiar process of charging lithium-ion batteries called as CCCV charging protocol. So to understand CCCV charging, Let's take example of filling a glass of water. When the glass is almost full, you will have to slow down to fill it up to top, so you won't spill water. Now, relate this analogy with lithium ion cell. The water in the glass denotes charge and rate of flow of water is charging rate. When glass is empty, it denotes the cell at 0% SOC at 3 volt. And when glass is full, it means cell at 100% SOC and at 4.2 volt. In this case, it is important to fill glass of water at maximum capacity without spilling water. The max voltage limit of cell is 4.2 volt. Above that, it is damaging to charge a lithium ion cell. It may result in fire or any hazardous accident. So, our target is to achieve optimum charging time without crossing threshold of 4.2 volts. Initially, up to 80% capacity of glass, we can pour water at higher flow rate, which helps us to reduce time to fill a glass. But as glass fill about 80% of its capacity, we have to reduce the flow of water to avoid spillage. So, we gradually decrease flow rate as glass fills up to 100% of its capacity. Similarly, we could charge a battery with constant current. As battery reaches to its peak voltage 4.2 volt, the state of charge is not up to reach about 100%. In this scenario, if we stop the charging at 4.2 volt, we will not able to utilize full capacity of this cell. If we continue to charge at this rate, the voltage will go about 4.2 volt and cause damage to the cell. Hence, a hybrid process of CC and CV is used, where a constant current is supplied to battery until it reaches about 80% of SOC and near peak voltage of battery. After this stage, to keep voltage constant, the current supplied is gradually decreased. This means if we have to charge battery optimally, we will have to keep charging input to battery variable. This job is done by combination of power control unit and DC to DC converter. To regulate the supply from rectifier as per SOC, SOH and temperature of battery, the power control unit directs DC to DC converter process. This power control unit communicates with battery management system and regulates voltage and current supply to the battery pack. This supply then goes to protection circuit. This protection circuit acts as a safety barrier between battery and onboard charger to eliminate any hazardous situation and any malfunction occurs in battery pack. Protection circuits like relays, fuses, circuit breakers are connected with feedback systems. It provides data like voltage, SOC, battery temperature and cell level SOC. In case of any malfunction such as rise in temperature of battery pack during charging process, BMS sends signal to protection circuit which breaks contact between battery pack and charger. This is the most basic process of charging an electric vehicle. This way, we can charge Nexon EV in 8 to 10 hours. In next session, we will explore better and faster charging option available to reduce charging time.